Sometimes the richest moments in life don't come from money at all. They come from the people who remind us what kindness really looks like, quiet, humble, and often hidden where no one else would ever think to look. This story begins on a cold Thursday evening when a billionaire walked into his mansion earlier than planned, and a single dad, standing in the middle of the room, turned around and said, "Shut up. Don't say a word." The billionaire froze. And the reason behind those words changed his entire life. Before we get into the story, if you enjoy emotional, inspiring, family-centered stories, please make sure to subscribe to Echoes of Dad, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep bringing you meaningful stories every week. Ethan Porter never planned to become a billionaire. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood outside Cleveland, raised by a mother who worked double shifts at a nursing home and a father who fixed cars for nearly nothing because he didn't like to see neighbors stranded. Kindness, compassion, and community, these were the real riches Ethan grew up with. But after founding a logistics software company that exploded during the rise of online shopping, his life changed faster than he could understand. Suddenly there were private jets, a mountain home in Colorado, 2 vacation houses, and a long driveway so big that guests often got lost just walking up it. Still, something inside him always stayed the same. He felt most at peace around ordinary people. People who didn't care what he was worth. That's why, when his estate manager retired, Ethan asked his security team to find someone who didn't come from the world of staffing agencies or property management firms. He said, "Find me someone who actually needs the job." That's how he met Tom Birch, a quiet single dad in his mid-30s with kind eyes, a tired smile, and a resume that looked like a patchwork quilt: warehouse worker, carpenter's assistant, delivery driver, and janitor. Tom didn't dress to impress. In fact, at the interview he apologized twice for the tiny grease stain on his shirt. But he had something that caught Ethan's attention. Gratitude. And a gentleness that made Ethan think, "Yeah, I want this guy around my home." Ethan hired him on the spot as a property caretaker. The job offered housing on the estate, which was a lifesaver for a dad raising his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, after losing his wife to cancer 3 years earlier. Within weeks, Ethan realized he had made the right decision. The gardens had never looked better. The workshop was organized. The garage tools were labeled. And surprisingly, the mansion felt warmer. Little things started appearing: fresh flowers in the foyer, handwritten notes on repairs he had made, and the faint sound of Lily's laughter as she explored the woods with her dad. Life went on smoothly. Ethan traveled a lot. And though he waved to Tom or chatted here and there, he never really knew him. Until one Thursday evening, something changed. Ethan was supposed to be in Chicago for a board meeting. The meeting ended early, flights aligned, and he found himself driving up his long winding driveway around 6 p.m., a time he was almost never home. As he pulled up, he noticed the lights inside his living room were on. He frowned. He never left those on. His instinct wasn't fear. It was curiosity. He entered quietly through the side door, footsteps soft on the marble floor. Voices, soft and nervous, carried down the hallway. Then he heard the unmistakable voice of a child. "Daddy, do you think he'll like it?" Ethan's eyebrows rose. He walked forward slowly. In the living room, he saw them, Tom and Lily, standing right in the center of the room. And when Tom noticed him, he immediately stepped in front of his daughter and snapped in a whisper shout, "Shut up. Don't say a word." Ethan froze. Shock hit him like a wave. Was he talking to me? Why? Then, in a trembling voice, Tom added, "Please, just give us 1 second. Please." Ethan said nothing. Not because he was offended, but because something in Tom's eyes, fear, desperation, and love, told him this moment had nothing to do with disrespect. Tom took a deep breath, stepped aside, and revealed what was behind him. A Christmas tree. But not just any tree. A small, crooked, hand-decorated Christmas tree, sitting in the middle of Ethan's living room. It was October. And around it were little crafts, paper snowflakes, homemade ornaments, and a Christmas stocking with Ethan's name sewn onto it in uneven red thread. Lily stepped forward, holding a cardboard box wrapped in newspaper. She whispered, "We didn't break anything, Mr. Porter. I promise." Ethan blinked. What's going on? Tom swallowed hard. Lily, show him. The little girl handed Ethan the box. Inside was a simple wooden plaque, hand-carved, the edges smoothed and sanded. On it were the words, "Thank you for giving my dad a home." Ethan's throat tightened. Tom explained softly, "Lily and I, we do early Christmas. We started the year her mom died. Holidays were rough, and we learned it helped to start early. To create joy even when we didn't feel it." He looked away, embarrassed. "We wanted to make you something. Because, if you hadn't hired me, we'd still be bouncing between relatives' couches. I could never repay you for giving my daughter stability again." Ethan felt tears burning behind his eyes. He had given Tom a job. But Tom and Lily had given this mansion something it never had before. A heartbeat. Then Tom added quietly, "When you walked in, the surprise wasn't ready." And Lily panicked. "I didn't mean to snap. I just wanted this to be special for you." Ethan couldn't speak at first. His voice felt locked behind emotion. Finally, he managed, "You decorated my home." Lily nodded. "Yeah. It looked kinda lonely." The words hit him harder than he expected. His mansion was lonely. For all the luxury, it had never felt like a place someone loved. But here was this little girl, choosing to brighten his world without expecting anything in return. Kindness. Pure, innocent kindness. A night that changed everything. I don't know what to say," Ethan whispered. Lily looked worried. "Do you like it?" Ethan dropped to one knee so he was at eye level with her. "Sweetheart," he said, voice shaking, "this might be the most thoughtful thing anyone has ever done for me." Her face lit up, even more than the mismatched Christmas lights around the small tree. That night, Ethan insisted they all bake cookies together in the mansion's oversized kitchen. It was the first time in years anyone had used it for something fun instead of catered events. Flour covered the counters. Lily got chocolate on her cheek. Tom tried to pretend he wasn't enjoying himself. And Ethan felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Belonging. Not because of money. Not because of titles. But because of connection. Because of kindness given freely, without interest, without agenda. At one point, as Lily hung her handmade stocking over the fireplace so Ethan wouldn't forget he had one too, Tom stepped aside and whispered, "I'm sorry for tonight. I shouldn't have told you to shut up. I just panicked." Ethan laughed. "Honestly, it was the best thing you could have said. It made me stop and listen." Tom smiled nervously. "You're a good man, sir." Ethan shook his head. "No, Tom, tonight you reminded me to be one. That small, crooked Christmas tree didn't come down. Not in December. Not in January. Not ever. It stayed, quietly tucked in a corner of the living room, because Ethan didn't want to forget the night he was reminded what matters most. And more changes followed. Ethan set up a college fund for Lily. He promoted Tom to full estate manager with a salary that made him choke up. He let them redesign the guest house into a real home, a home full of warmth and laughter. But the biggest change was in Ethan himself. He found himself calling his own mother more. Visiting his old neighborhood more. Looking at people a little slower, with a little more attention. Because kindness, real kindness, doesn't always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes it shows up in a small tree in October. Sometimes in a hand-carved plaque. Sometimes in a child's simple desire to say thank you. Kindness isn't about grand gestures. It's about the small things, the moments when we choose compassion over convenience, generosity over indifference. That night, a billionaire learned that the greatest wealth in life isn't stored in bank accounts. It's found in the people who show us love when we least expect it. And maybe that's what we all need to remember. Kindness is never wasted. Never too small. Never too late. So today, hold the door for someone. Send a message to someone you miss. Forgive someone. Compliment someone. Smile at someone who looks like they need hope. Because you never know. Your simple act of kindness might be the very thing that lights up someone's world, just like one little girl lit up a billionaire's empty mansion. Be kind. Spread love. And let your kindness echo far beyond what you